Day 1 of 1.21.11 Hardcore Minecraft. The plan right now is to just loot up and go mining. Before going caving though, I need to get some more wood, so I decided to leave this tree alone and head over to the savannah biome. Before I could start defying the laws of physics, I noticed a village in the distance and decided to head over there. I started to get hungry, so I decided to kill a couple of cows for a snack. At the village, I started ransacking the place to find loot. After raiding all of the villagers' belongings, including the hay bales and fresh wheat, started collecting wood, making a crafting table, and turned the wheat into bread. I then made a pickaxe and started to mine stone and immediately upgraded my tools. As it turned to night, I stole a bed and slept. On day 2, I went around mining coal and killing the iron golem for iron. After planting his remains, I proceeded to mine more coal. After I resurfaced, I got more wood and made a shield and iron pickaxe. With better loot, I decided to go deeper into the cave to find ores. After a while, I found copper but zero iron. I decided to mine it and use it as a substitute. I started smelting the copper once I returned to the surface. As night time was approaching, I slept while the copper was still in the furnace. Day 4 started off as I waited for the copper to finish smelting. Once it was finished, I made copper armor but screwed up and made 16 copper bars by mistake. After smelting even more copper, I finally had a full set. I decided to head out of the village to find a better cave for iron, so I packed up my stuff and headed in a random direction. After exploring for a while, I still didn't have any iron, so I slept at the bottom of a ravine, hoping iron would soon come. Day 4 continued with me traveling through the different caves. As fate would have it, I finally came across some iron. I went back to the top of the cave and started smelting it. Having 7 iron ingots to my name, I decided to make a bucket and continued to explore. I found a couple of extra iron before heading out to a new area. As day 4 was ending, I decided to climb a mountain and watch the sunset. When I reached the top, I found even more iron. It seems like my luck was finally starting to turn around. I reached the top of the mountain and placed my bed. As I was going to sleep, I spotted even more iron. Day 5 was spent running around the mountain, checking the bottom, sides, and top for even more ores. Once I was sure that there were no more visible ores, I decided to make a camp and started smelting my iron. While waiting, I found a nearby ruined portal and quickly looted it, getting obsidian and a flint and steel. After mining the gold block, I headed back to my furnace and waited for all my iron to smelt. Once I finished smelting, I made fresh armor plus some new tools. I continued exploring and eventually found a cave, but night was quickly approaching, so I slept before I headed in. Day 7 to 9 was spent in the cave. I was able to find more iron as well as some diamonds. After mining for a while, I decided to head out of the cave, so I looked for an exit. And that's when I came across a blossom forest. I scouted around for the remainder of day 9. Before sleeping, I found another ruined portal in the middle of the forest, which I looted and then slept. As I was saying, and then slept. On day 10, I decided to use my diamonds to make better armor, as well as a new pickaxe. I also made a chest to store my items that I wasn't using. I'd have to go out to find some sugarcane that I could plant and farm for paper and cows for leather so that I could make books. After kindly negotiating with some cows and getting leather, I continued looking for sugarcane. On my way, I found some wolves which I was able to successfully tame. After, I was able to find some sugarcane, but it wasn't even close to enough, so I decided to continue looking. I walked through the night but couldn't find anything. On day 11, I was going to turn around and head back to the base until I found yet another ruined portal. After quickly looting it, I headed back home and planted my sugarcane. While waiting for them to grow, I decided to cook the iron that I got recently, as well as some food, and let it cook as I slept. I woke up on day 12, and it started off with me waiting for everything to finish cooking, but during this time, I got a little surprise. I honestly do not know how I did not die to that creeper, and how it was only able to deal 1 heart of damage to me. After fixing the damage it caused, I decided to wander around waiting for my sugarcane to grow until nighttime. I went to bed and woke up on day 13 with a plan. I would travel to a different location and search for more sugarcane to plant so I could use it faster. After having way more successful luck this time, I came home and planted the sugarcane and waited for them to grow. Day 13 came to the end as I watched the sunset. I woke up on day 14 still waiting for my sugar cane to grow as I walked around looking for a good place to build my house. As the sun began to set, I decided to build my house straight in the middle of the small valley and went to bed. On day 15, I harvested all the grown sugar cane and finally made an enchanting table which I used to enchant my armor and tools. After clearing out my inventory, I decided to start planning on my house and headed over to the area. As I explored the caves that was near my house location, I found a small opening with a huge cave inside. I decided to sleep and check it out on day 16. Day 16 arrived and first thing I did was jump in and explore the cave. Unfortunately, this is when tragedy struck. Even with full diamond armor which was enchanted, I died. A random creeper, which wasn't there before, came out of nowhere and blew me up. I did not know how I did not die the first time with iron armor, whether the only reason I survived was a fluke or a chance, but I do know I'm not going to stop. One day I am going to survive and I'm not going to give up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You don't have to, but it helps out a ton. Until next time,